Good morning. We are on our way to Yellowstone. All right.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Little early.
Driving to the airport.
Not that crazy, considering this is the time that I'm usually getting up.
How do you feel about leaving your children, Alex?
Horrible. I don't want to leave my kids. There you go. How do you feel about leaving your children for a week, Andrew?
Pretty excited about it.
Of course you. Of course you.
Seated till we have parked at the gate and that seatbelt sign is turned off.
A little smoky.
Be sure to check your seat back pocket in the area around her.
All right, leaving the luxurious Antler Inn in Jackson Hole. You ready?
Let's go.
Woo! All right, we're on the road passing Jackson Lake. That's the moon out above the Tetons. Mount Moran's over there somewhere, but the haze and the fog is pretty thick this morning. It's still pretty cool coming off the reflection off the lake water. Had to pull over and check it out. All right, time to get back on the road.
Driving through Yellowstone. Say hi.
Bagels in the morning.
It's only 5:44 in the morning and it's already incredibly bright outside.
Steam coming off the Snake River this morning.
Yeah, all that beautiful fog. It's so pretty. Only thing that could make it better is if there was a moose right out in the middle of it. Only thing to improve that view.
Oh, the moose is over here.
Passing another big steam vent. Whole car smells like rotten eggs. Love that sulfur smell.
Burial Spring, I think. That's what that one's called. Yeah, we're not stopping a lot at all these places because we do want to get on the trail at some point today, so.
Gotta keep moving, but we can video. Gibbon River down there.
Tons of cool places to visit in Yellowstone. If you stopped at all of them, you'd never
You could spend months
make it
here.
to where you wanted to start your hike. So.
Oh. All the herd of buffalo. We were complaining earlier because we had only seen, after covering 120 something miles in Yellowstone, we had only seen one buffalo, and now there's like 500. Oh.
All right, we're at the trailhead. Everything packed up, ready to go. We're heading back that way eventually. Fun times. It's the Lamar River trailhead. There's another one about a quarter mile down this way that's mainly for stock people riding horses and whatnot, although it does have some extra parking for regular vehicles too, just in case you come up this way. Here we go. Another little tip about starting at this trailhead versus the one a quarter mile back is you get a bridge across Soda Butte. I'm not sure there's a bridge at the other one, but we got to walk across the Lamar River in a couple of hours, or well, maybe only about an hour anyway. So we're gonna get wet eventually. All right, that is the Mirror Plateau. We're gonna be heading up towards, right up this way. Still see a little bit of snow up there. Sits about a little over 9,000 feet for most of it. Down this direction is Specimen Ridge.
I'd be like, stop and get a picture, but you can't see him. All he looks like is brown rock.
Lots of big fluffy brown rocks around here.
Surrounded by prairie dogs.
So this way heads on up the Lamar River. That's where we'll be coming out in 5 days. We're heading this way, continue across the valley and up and over up the ridge there. So big boy there popped up as soon as we came over the rise. There was a pronghorn, just went over a dip there. This is coming up on the Lamar River Ford. Beautiful wildflowers in here.
I'm okay with whatever. We can split. I'm okay if people split in, and I'm okay doing it.
The Lamar Creek Ford.
He was like, Mark said we can just go, but I don't want to make it.
All right, made it across.
And we have a little fluffy rock in our path.
We got this guy. Been grunting a lot, but
Swing wide, dear.
I think we gotta go up there, so we should be okay. Don't mind the buffalo in his dirt pit.
What?
So don't mind the buffalo in his dirt pit over there. We got a pretty strenuous climb ahead, so get used to me breathing really hard while I'm filming. All right, Specimen Ridge Trail. You can kind of see the valley through the trees there. This does just go pretty much straight up the mountain here. Had one switchback so far. It's just a lot of this. Can't really see where you're going. Just uphill. But we're starting to definitely get some elevation, seeing the mountains across the way there. Of course, a lot of haze and smoke from the wildfires out west. And plenty of horse flies, black flies.
As I drag my poles behind me.
It's a little warm today. Getting back at the Lamar River Valley.
Oh, that's a beautiful view. Or maybe that's the same.
All right, so buffalo, and then somewhere, I think car's right down here somewhere. The road goes right down that way. So we were looking at this an hour or two ago from the cars, and now we're up here.
Woohoo!
Living the high life, man.
Yeah.
All right, after losing the trail for a little bit in an open area, back in the woods now. Still on Specimen Ridge here. Lone buffalo out here, getting toward the top of Specimen Ridge. Black flies are a little bit of a pain, but no issues with mosquitoes so far.
Way to jinx us, babe.
Yeah, I try. Almost to the point where we leave the trail up here. Another half mile or so. Well, took a few more steps and look what we see. A snow patch. And it feels like it's 80 degrees outside. Guess we are getting some elevation. All right, this is about as high up as we're gonna get on Specimen Ridge. We're gonna kind of go this way and then cut out across the plateau there. Looks like there may be a lone buffalo out there. That way's continuation of the trail. That's Amethyst Mountain, that hump right in the middle there. All right, this is where we leave the trail. Wish us luck. Some bleached out bones over here.
Is that a rat?
Yeah.
What is he bleached out?
Elk rack.
Elk rack.
Well, we thought we'd come over to this little watering hole lake to fill up on some water, but it's pretty nasty looking. Doesn't have any like clear drain from it or anything.
And it smells of buffalo.
It smells like buffalo pee. There were 2 buffalo over here, so they were just gonna hold off till we get to camp and at Opal Creek, and there is water in that dang creek. But this is pretty cool out here. And 2 buffalo just kind of growling and grumbling at us, but they walked on off. We gotta head out this way for a few miles. There's a buffalo.
There's 2 buffalo.
So we got this guy still over here, kind of crossing paths with him. And then we're not sure what these fence contraptions are, but I'm guessing some sort of biologist has set this up for some reason. All kinds of scientists work in Yellowstone all the time, so never know what you're gonna find out here, even off trail. All right, Alex is addressing a small issue with her sock. We just came through those trees there, followed kind of some buffalo paths that seem to go straight uphill, which is a nice aerobic exercise. And now, though, we get to head downhill pretty much the whole way to camp, which we'll just follow this drainage, maybe about a mile down that direction, and find camp. But that's the rest of the plateau we're gonna traverse tomorrow and Tuesday. And yeah, it should be a good time. All right, so we've determined that this buffalo trail is not as good as this buffalo trail. So and I believe the campsite is somewhere on the other side of those trees, right there. Now we just gotta get down and cross the creek. Yeah.
And then they're scattered, obviously. And once they're scattered, it's been a while, right? Like
Old bones. We just passed a bunch of old bones. Very bleached out, not fresh. About as close as we want to be to this guy. Marking his territory. There's our tent. His buddy came through a minute ago. All right, guys, it is after 9 o'clock. Still pretty light out. We just kind of finished hanging all the food and things we don't want animals to get into. And we really weren't sure we found the campsite, but this is where we are. You know, the food's kind of back behind us here in those trees, and we're out in the open here. Yes, we know, not the best scenario, but there's absolutely 0 precipitation and weather in the forecast for tonight, so I think we're pretty good. Only thing we're worried about is we've had several bison come through right through these trees and just walk right through the field. Get pretty close, but they haven't messed with us, so they grunt a lot.
all together outside of being exhausted. It's been a very good first day.
All right.
6.
See you in the morning. Good morning. The sun rising over the Mirror Plateau. This guy was a little noisy last night, but stayed put. And I got out of the tent. There's a big bull elk right up here, and I think they moved on. Yeah, you might be able to see them there, way right up there right now. It is a beautiful morning with a moon on this side and a sun on that side and a buffalo in the middle. No bears. All right, campsite number 1 is clean and looks like nobody's ever here. Maybe a buffalo laid down or something. That's just me. We're getting ready to head on our long off day trail. Hopefully by midday be getting close to Mirror Lake, and then head to Pelican Creek Trail, or Pelican Creek campsite. Yeah.
Cool.
More to come. All right, so we walked maybe, what, 200 yards? Further than we did yesterday, and look what we found, the campsite. Still don't see the dang bear pole, but looks like we just stopped a little too short. But you know, this looks like a bunch of bear scat everywhere.
And, rats.
So,
Bleached out rats.
I think it was probably okay that we did not camp here.
We slept with the buffaloes.
We just slept with our buffalo friends. This is Opal Creek, and where we're gonna try to fill up on water because we have to go up this way, and I figure gaining elevation is only going to decrease the chances of finding water. So got a buffalo watching over us here, and then a whole herd of them right over this rise that we saw a second ago. A few mosquitoes by this little creek, but so far they're not biting us. Well, we caught up to the herd, and now we gotta negotiate a way around them.
There's lots of babies.
Pretty good size herd.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta get up that draw there. Hoping these big guys will mosey on out of the way, but they don't seem too keen on waking up. All right, now that we've kind of passed the majority of the herd, we realize there's a whole bunch more back behind this rise. So
about 150, maybe 200.
Yeah, 150 to 200 bison. That's a lot. But the way looks clear ahead. What we saw up that way was elk a minute ago. All right, that's our last look at the Opal Creek drainage. We're about to head over the rise here, and we'll be in a new drainage. I think it's the headwaters of the Pelican Creek, but don't quote me on that. I'm walking through this field and noticed all these indentations in the grass here.
There's one big one right behind you.
Looks like maybe a herd of elk slept here last night. They're a little too small for buffalo. All right, so I lied a minute ago. I forgot this is not Pelican Creek drainage. I think this is maybe Timothy Creek. That still goes out toward Lamar, because we got to go up and over that. It looks like there's some nice buffalo trails to follow though, so hopefully it won't be too difficult. It's gorgeous out here, but not a lot moving around. That's where we came from, up there in that little saddle. Almost to the top of the drainage here. The bison path has worked well for us. Hi.
Hi.
Right. Made it over to the next drainage. that was a pretty tough climb. So I think we're gonna stop and have lunch. Right over here somewhere. All right. Our original plan was to drop down in this drainage and then head up to another kind of pass area, but looks like we can just kind of cut straight through here on the map and keep our elevation. Since we're good on water, I think we're gonna do that. All right, so every time we think we've left one herd, we come across a rise and find another herd. Luckily, we gotta go just to the right side of them toward that clearing.
Where they're headed.
I don't know if they're headed there. Hopefully not. They're just kind of rolling and grazing and whatnot.
Moseying.
Moseying. Hey, while we're here, we've decided this is the world's angriest cabbage. Not sure. Some type of thistle, maybe. I hope you can hear that. They've all gotten a little ornery as we've gotten closer. All right, they seem to be taking over that little ridge we were trying to get to, so we're gonna have to go around this end of them. Hopefully they will get on up and start moving before we get there. It's always the small stream crossings where people just eat it, so we're gonna film this.
You know what? No, I refuse to allow it. This is gonna be hilarious.
Oh.
Aha.
The buffalo make pretty good trails. Problem is that you just don't really know where they're going. Down into one drainage and head back up out of it here in just a second. As you can tell, I've given up on trying to remember the names of all these little creeks and drainages, so I'll probably go back and put subtitles. Windy up on top of this pass. Found a bison horn. Pretty good size. Well, that's not Mirror Lake. That's a smaller lake, not too far from Mirror Lake. But I don't know if you notice, it's a pretty steep hill. I don't know if we're... Didn't bring my rappelling rope here. More to come. Alex is not real thrilled with me right now. That's a pretty steep drop. But once again, bison come through in a pinch. There's a little trail that cuts through around this way and back down. I think it's workable. All right, Alex, tell us how you felt about coming down that.
Not thrilled. Me personally, don't love the idea of just falling down logs and bumping my way to the bottom. But
it's like a giant game of Plinko.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. But thank goodness for buffalo trails.
Another little pond back here. And the buffalo trail I saw on the aerial photography, imagery, maps. So thank goodness that actually still exists. Spotted our first wolf prints coming down here along with some buffalo prints. Pretty cool. All right, we're coming up to Mirror Lake here, the namesake for Mirror Plateau. It's like some ducks or geese or something swimming around out there. Absolutely beautiful. Well, it's kind of a nice little dirt beach. I don't know that we're going for a swim today, although as hot as it is, pretty tempted. It is a pretty cool lake. Pretty cool to be two of the only people to be out here this year. Well, we are topped off on water for the night, hopefully. And one last look at Mirror Lake. It is a pretty unique place.
But I have to balk at it because, you know, my fear of falling weighs out. The first thing that comes to mind. And then I curse you in my head the whole time.
So we've just been following this game trail from up there, coming out of Mirror Lake. And originally I was plotted going down this way and around on the map, but when we spotted this game trail, it just seemed like a much easier route than climbing through all the deadfall down there. And maybe a little less forest up here, a little more open. But pretty cool how you can just come out here and pick your route. Choose your own adventure, right, Alex?
Yes.
A whole herd of elk right in front of us just ran out.
Hi, guys. It's all mamas and babies.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first big herd of elk we've been reasonably close to. I saw some at a distance earlier today.
I wish they'd talk to us. There's the babies. Look how cute the babies are. Hi, guys. Promise you we're not going to eat
Make
you.
sure there's no bears behind us. There they go.
And they're off. Yay.
Coming back out into the open here. Oh, that feels nice. All right, go ahead.
Another femur. Pelvis. Yeah, look, there's the pelvis. Both sides. Can't tell if it's male or female. Not that good. And vertebrae.
And the skull.
What's left of it.
There was an incident here.
Look, and there's bones strewn all over up the way.
Somebody had a feast.
Somebody died.
All right, finally heading into the upper parts of the Pelican Creek drainage. What'd you find?
Bear track. Pretty damn sure. There's
Yeah.
the pad.
Yeah.
There's the toes. Going that way.
Well, we didn't see him. All right, there's another bear print and
What
a
is that?
wolf or coyote
Look.
print here.
Look at this one.
Oh yeah,
That's
that looks like a big back pad there. All right, We're hoping the buffalo skull here means this is the campsite. It's a little ominous way to mark the campsite, but I guess it works. You can see it from a pretty good distance. Looks like this is the fire pit and eating area and a bear pole. Finally. Yay. Sweet. So this is how we're eating dinner tonight, because there are a blue million skeeters
I'm pretty
out
sure I
here.
just ate a bug. You landed on the pasta.
You know, it happens. But the good part is the tent's set up out there, and there doesn't seem to be near as many bugs out of the trees. Again, you know, maybe not the best place to put it, but it just seemed appropriate on this trip, and doesn't seem to be any chance of rain again. I think tomorrow may be a different story. As we hike off of Mirror Plateau, that's going to be a little bit of a jaunt, but should be fun. This is campsite 5P7 and is not on most maps. You can do a little research about camping on Mirror Plateau and find it pretty easily. It's not a totally hidden thing, and it is marked with the designation and everything. But this and the site we were at last night, the Opal Creek site, they only issue permits for a combined total of 14 nights per year between middle of July to middle of August, maybe 15th to the 15th if memory serves. So to get both of these back to back with the reservation system was pretty exciting to us. So anyway, maybe you can try too. All right, the sun is setting on day 2. We got everything hung over here on the bear pole, including our bags tonight, and about got everything set up in the tent. So all in all, today we saw several hundred bison, excuse me. I keep calling them buffalo. I hope everybody that watches this knows I know the proper name is bison. Buffalo is just a fun word to say, all right? But then we saw a little herd of elk toward the end of the day. Had a big buck elk first thing this morning. I didn't get a good shot of him with the camera. His sun wasn't really even up yet. But other than that, that was the only large mammals we saw. Saw some bear prints toward the end of the day, and lots of wolf prints and coyote prints throughout the day. Got to see a couple of lakes that very few people ever get to see, so that was kind of cool. Wish I had a fishing pole, but I'm kind of tired. I don't want to carry it anymore. So anyway, well, wish us luck tonight and tomorrow. We're going to head up kind of this direction toward that mountain there, and we'll follow Pelican Creek up to its actual headwaters there, kind of go over a saddle and then follow the Raven Creek for several miles, about 5 or 6 miles, I think, down its drainage before we get to go over Lovely Pass, which I've heard is not really that lovely. It's kind of tree covered. It's a lot of deadfall. I'm not really looking forward to that part, but it saves us about a 10-mile trip around that ridge line. So I guess that's the route we will take. Anyway, we will see you in the morning. If nothing exciting happens tonight, we'll see. All right, decided to do one last thing before we went to bed. Almost after. Washing these nasty feet in this little stream we have here by our camp. I'm sorry, Yellowstone, but I'm probably polluting downriver. What you doing, Alex?
I am making a biscuits and gravy breakfast tortilla and killing mosquitoes.
All right, day 3. We're heading up and over where the Pelican Creek goes. And then once we go over, we'll be in the Raven Creek drainage. And so we got about 8 miles to the lovely, lovely pass. Here, it's not really that great, but it's how we got to go. So about 10, 11 miles to the next campsite over on Mist Creek. And from there, we'll be on actual designated national park trails the entire rest of the way. It's amazing.
I don't know. I like my buffalo trails.
But we got everything cleaned up. Checked, nothing else lying around out there. Should be good to go. And that is fresh bear poop. And we got to wander up through this. Found a nice buffalo trail. But needless to say, we were yelling "Hey bear" a lot. Hopefully, if we do see one, it's at a distance. If you have any doubt about a grizzly bear's strength, that rock's about twice the size of a bowling ball. Was right here. Obviously just flipped out recently because the grass has moved. And you can see the different color versus all the other rocks around here. But that's how big that thing is. There's another one right up there. Pretty crazy. You just flip it over like it's no big deal. It's a little slow going through here, but the wildflowers and the creek, just the whole scene are absolutely gorgeous. This is the upper reaches of the Pelican Creek. The headwaters, I guess you say, right? All right, this is the headwaters of Pelican Creek. There's really not much to it right here. Mostly dry, a couple little puddles. And we're gonna head that way to find Raven Fork. Getting close to the top of this saddle here before we head over into Raven Creek. And one thing we were noticing today is we actually have blue skies. The smoke must be headed more north. Still hazy in the distance, not 100% clear, but probably the clearest day we've had so far. A bunch of elk just ran right out in front of us.
See him right there.
And they haven't even really seen us yet, we don't think. Right over this rise here. Actually, I think they're laying down.
There they go.
Hey, boys.
There goes one. There they are. Look at them go. There's still 2 more laying down in the grass, rolling around.
Hey,
Oh.
boys.
Whoop, whoop. There's still one left. That's so cool. And there they go. So cool. I haven't seen
All
it.
right, we are.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, just crossed over the first part of Raven Creek. There's some sort of falcon or hawk or something flying up here. Been yelling at us for a while. But this is the parting of the waters, at least for this area of the park. All right, before we head down this drainage, I wanted to point out a couple of things. So the mountain straight ahead there is Pyramid Peak, I believe. The tallest one, of course. And then that ridge just below, or just from the foreground from that, and over this way is going to be Lovely Pass, which we're going to get to this afternoon, hopefully. Otherwise, we got bigger problems, but but on the other side of that ridge is Mist Creek, which is where we're camping tonight. Yeah. So we picked up another buffalo trail. And making a little bit better time now. And it's starting to smell sulfur water. Oh, awful. We just spotted our first grizzly. He just ran into these trees right here. He was hanging out right over here by these logs. I looked up and saw him running, luckily running uphill.
I haven't seen him come out on the other side, so I think he went straight over.
Yeah. I don't mind seeing him as long as they're running away from me.
Yeah.
Got some good pictures with the big camera, so.
And your wife's phone totally screwed up, and she didn't actually hit the record button.
Oh. Now we are passing Pelican Cone there. Right there. I just told my wife that I entertained the idea when planning this trip of going up the backside of that and picking up the trail on the other side.
Ha, ha, ha.
She thinks that's pretty funny right about now. Which I kind of agree.
No. Oh.
Ooh, this is Raven Creek. It's kind of a tight spot here. Nice little cave undercut underneath the hill there. Yeah, so we've been following the signs of a bear for quite some time. Don't think he's too far in front of us, judging by the fact all these plants are dug up, but they're still pretty green. We've seen some pretty fresh bear scat, even smelled some pretty fresh bear pee. If there is such a thing as fresh bear pee, but anyway.
It looks like he went that way.
Yeah.
Or something went that way.
All right. Just to the left of that, where that hill drops down, that's a lovely pass. So me going up and over that low spot there, as long as we can get through these willows without getting attacked by a bear. Should be fun. Another little undercut that the creek made here. Oh, it is kind of buggy in here. All right, we're been walking down Raven Creek for a while, stopping and getting some water right now. It's been a slog to say the least, because it's, we lost track of how many times we actually crossed Raven Creek, because the creek would run straight into the bank, and so you'd have to find a place to cross, and then it would do it again on the other side. But it's pretty, just slow going. And it seems to be like a little waterfall right up here past these willows. So I think we're gonna go up and over. Those lovely pass is actually that way. We were normally gonna go down here and then hang a left. But it looks like on the map we can kind of just go up and over this little hump here and be in the next drainage we need to be in anyway. So
hopefully there won't be any more smooshy peat moss ground.
Yeah, we almost sank a few times in the peat mossy type swamp areas back there. The sandhill crane. There's two of them. One went behind us and one right in front of us. So as you can tell, we made it out of that little bushwhack just fine. And now you can actually see lovely paths right there through those trees. So we're headed that way. All right, so straight ahead is the Willow Creek drainage. So we're gonna start angling up that way because that dip in the ridge is lovely pass. So from here to Miss Creek, it is not gonna be very easy, but we shall make it. All right, so just wanted to show y'all what we've been hiking through for the past 30 minutes. It's not, I mean, it's got its own little level of beauty. But yeah, tons of deadfall. And then where there's not deadfall, there's marshes.
Marshes,
on the
why are
side
there marshes?
of a mountain. I'm not sure how that works, but Anyway, it wasn't unexpected. I mean, you can see this stuff from space, right? Finally getting some altitude again. Alex, you want to tell everybody what you saw?
I saw a very, very large grizzly bear that I was sure I was making up in my brain. I thought it was just the end of a tree trunk, and then I said, "Hey bear," and it stopped looking at Andrew and looked at me. And then it turned and ran. But that was a very large bear.
I totally missed it. It was out of my line of sight because of some trees, but that's why you don't be ashamed to yell "Hey bear" at the stumps.
Nope.
Because eventually it might be one. Well, I'm glad we went ahead and turned uphill when we did. Because if we'd been stuck in this, we would have had to backtrack and get out of it. That's ridiculous.
More bear poop.
Yep. So now that we got up here, we actually found a little trail that we think the bears use. Maybe some deer too, but seeing a lot of bear prints on it and poop. So, when in bear country, walk the bear road. I don't know, something cheesy like that. Well, we made it to the top of Lovely Pass. It's
Not lovely.
not so lovely, and that was a grueling climb. I don't know how you put marshes on the sides of mountains, but this pass found a way to do it. Now we get to try to go down the other side. Yay, us. All right, so we made it to the Mist Creek Trail. As you can tell, we're moving a little bit faster right now.
On your right, I'm hearing some weird noises.
And hearing some stuff on the right.
Actually, it might be elk. It sounds more like a whoop whoop.
Oh, yeah, that's probably elk. But we're about half mile from our actual camp. I can honestly say, do not recommend anybody ever go over Lovely Pass. Going up it was hard. If going up it was hard, then going down it was awful. It was really thick undergrowth and deadfall and creeks and willows and just all the things. But we made it. We successfully traversed the Mirror Plateau from north to south.
About 5 times.
Yeah. Well, we each fell a couple times. Oh, and I dropped my phone at one point. We had to backtrack until I found it. So you're lucky you're even watching this. Yeah. Hey. Good morning. This is day 4. We're on the Mist Creek Trail. Camp 3T7, I think. 3T2, excuse me. Got in later than we meant to last night because of getting over that pass that I don't want to say its name anymore. So.
The not so lovely pass.
the name, the pass that shall not be named. So anyway, we're getting up and going. Had a couple of blisters to doctor this morning, but should be set. I mean, we don't got much of a choice. So about 13-14 miles today to the next camp, the Middle Lamar camp. And then yeah, the last day will just be hiking out of the Lamar Valley and back to the trailhead. All right, day 4 up in the Mist Creek area here. Made it through the night. I don't know if any bears came through because I was sleeping so hard. I think Alex was the same way. So we got about, I don't know, 13 to 15 miles, depending on which app you look at, to our next campsite. So kind of a long day, but it's the first day that's all on trail.
Woohoo!
And it's generally downhill, so we should be okay. I'm sure we'll still be tired at the end of the day, but probably not like yesterday. So anyway, wish us luck. frog. Here we are at the first ford of the day. All right, we made it to the trail junction here for Frost Lake Trail. It's kind of washed out, so you can't really see it, but we're hopping on a Lamar River. 26.9 miles till we get to the trailhead. Wait, no, excuse me, 16.7. That sounds better. Still not doing all of that today. Oh. We got about 200 yards to our next river crossing, so we just kept our river shoes on and heading down the trail here.
I'm gonna stay. I give up, Andrew.
It's pretty nice right here.
What?
It is pretty nice right here.
Smile. Take a picture.
I'm filming.
Oh.
Crazy.
I said smile. Take a picture.
We'll do a screenshot. How about that? So this is, I don't know if it's technically Lamar River or not. I feel like it's another creek that, when it merges with the Mist Creek, becomes the Lamar River. And the name escapes me right now. Let's watch Alex find the deepest hole in this little mill pond here. See if she falls. Don't worry, she's gonna videotape me on the way across too. Well, we're trying to get out of the valley there, where the river was, so we don't get struck by lightning. Storms have blown in, coming across the plateau, seem to be going behind us. So no real rain yet, but still headed down the trail. Yeah, just filming. Alright, about 4 miles we think from our campsite. It's been raining for a while now, but it's not too bad, not too cold, not too hot. It's still, you know, just absolutely gorgeous on the Lamar River here. Some pretty cool rock undercuts there, maybe. All right, we're walking down to campsite 3L7 on the lovely Lamar River. And looks pretty solid, not gonna lie. So this is the Lamar River running right behind where our campsite is. Our eating area is right up through that little path, and then our tent's about 300 yards away. Came down here and got a little extra water, or rather I made Alex do it. It is pretty awesome. Good morning, it's day 5.
Woo! Yeah.
We're eating a little breakfast here by the Lamar River, which is considerably increased in volume overnight. I guess upriver they got a lot more rain than we did on this end, so we do have one creek/river crossing later in the day today at Cache Creek, so we're hoping it's not up too much down there and maybe has had a little bit of time to drain down by the time we get there, assuming there's no more rain upstream. But all is well. We did not have any bear encounters, even though the rangers warned us that a bear had been frequenting the area at this campsite. Did see what appeared to be some fresh bear poop on the little trail between where we're sitting and our tent, so I don't know if he came through last night or what, but we both slept like rocks, so we didn't hear him. So.
Yay, Benadryl.
And yeah, get some food in us, and then we're gonna hit the trail again. Got a lot of ups and downs today to finish it out, but only about 11 miles to the car. Woo. All right, we just packed up and left camp. You can see it there in the background, maybe somewhere
Over there.
back that way in those trees. And we are about to hit the main trail. Day 5 underway. This is the earliest start we've gotten, so I think we decided it takes solid 5 days for us to get our routine down in the mornings.
Or maybe we're just excited to be going back to the car.
Or maybe we're just ready to get back to the car. One of the two. But either way, we still got a lot to see in the next 10, 11 miles. Woo. All right, so one of the reasons that we got moving a little bit early this morning is because we did not decide to filter water from the river. As you can see, it's a nice kind of
chocolate milk,
chocolatey mocha milk color. And I figured I'd spend more time back flushing the filter than I would be actually filtering water. So we're hoping to find a little stream along the trail because we don't have very much water between us right now. But, you know.
But last night it was crystal clear.
Yeah, last night it was crystal clear, but the storms that we heard behind us the whole day yesterday definitely produced a lot of water upstream, and all that's washing down overnight. But anyway, oh, and by the way, Mirror Lake that we were at the other day is up on this plateau about 2.5 miles that way. Pretty crazy. All right, just about 1.5 miles from the campsite, and we had to cross this little creek, and it is probably some of the clearest water we've had so far. Definitely better looking than the Lamar is right now. So we're gonna stop and fill up on water and then keep moving.
Okay. Hold on.
So close. I don't even know why you bothered getting back on the log, but I don't know. Pride? Is that?
Yes.
All right, we just popped up over a little high point here, and we can see the Lamar River Valley proper out there. The car is out there about 6 miles away. As Alex says, don't say 6. It's not that far. It's 6. So it looks like we're not getting out without another thunderstorm here.
What?
Even though there's blue skies ahead. Woo! Raining in Yellowstone. Not
Water way down there. Like a lake or something.
There's the Lamar Valley. All right, we're getting close to Cache Creek here. All of this over here is, I'm assuming, buffalo game trails. The Park Service is nice enough to mark this trail. And we'll cross Cache Creek right up there. And then we'll head up and over the kind of the side of this hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it there. About a 250-foot climb. And then it is downhill from there.
What am I seeing? The log?
I
Between
think
the trees
that's
on the
just
other
a
side?
log right there.
Okay, it's just very dark. Yeah. It's so close, babe.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's head down and cross the creek. Some of those are big round bowling balls, so be careful.
Shit.
Hey.
Hi.
Can't bleep out everything, okay?
Sorry, I forgot you were filming.
This guy's not too keen on us passing by. He's slowly keeps eyeballing us, and I'm trying not to look right at him. Because when I do, he like gets a little aggressive looking. All right, we're going over our last big incline of the trip. Across the way here's Specimen Ridge that we went up on day one. Right at the base, right here is where we crossed the Lamar. And looking back, that's the Mirror Plateau. Getting a little rain on the other side of the river right now. And a lone buffalo. Alright, that's definitely more of a newer carcass than I typically like to be around. No bears over there though.
I'm not saying anything.
You can see this white area in the trees over there to our left. That's a dead thermal area. Closest thing we're gonna get to on this trip to a thermal area other than the ones we drive past. But still pretty amazing. It's just all barren right in there.
Like, this is where I just need to see, like, a wolf go pitter-pattering by.
So got rain on the left side of the valley. Buffaloes down there. Some angry buffalo up here just snorting away at us. Can't even see him. And we're only a couple miles from the trailhead. We actually saw a car drive down by the road a second ago. Almost done.
There's a badger right up here. But he's so small, it's hard to get a video of him. Let's see. He's digging. Right there. And there he goes.
All right, made it back to the car. Stinky.
Tired.
A little hairier. Where do you want to eat first?
I want a steak, but I think I will take a burger in the meantime.
Yeah. Probably a Tower Junction gas station in our future, if I had to guess. What?
I have my mouth full.
She got her steak.